Hey, you decided to stop into my channel. Thanks very much. You're either a returning viewer or a new viewer, so this is kind of a little channel update. Uh, I'm kind of not sure where to go with this. I don't want to ramble too much. So I want to address a couple things here. Um, and I'll end up rambling on for 20 minutes if I'm not careful and say nothing. I guess I should address the short season thing. I started this channel originally to address mainly to me, all this stuff ties into something that's known as Satan's little season. That's kind of the term that people use on YouTube, the internet world, Facebook, all the stuff. There's a term, Satan's little season. And I started using that term in my titles and in my tags because that's originally just who I figured would be interested in what I was talking about. So now I think there's, from the comments that I see when I'm reading through the comments and that, I think there's people who don't even know what that is, or they don't really, they're like, what is this about? Or I'll drop little phrases in there that's kind of referring to that, and I'm just assuming, oh, everybody here is aware of Satan's little season and the post-millennial reign and all that the 1,000 years in the Bible is past and all this stuff, right? And I realize, I think a lot of people, or some people anyway, I say a lot, some people are coming on here and they don't even know what that's even about. So I guess I should probably address it. And then I have other people that I think are coming here because of those tags, Satan Little Season, in the title, and it's popping up in their feed, and they're like wanting to hear more, I guess it more addressed towards the Satan's Little Season. Like, hey, tie this into the Satan's Little Season thing a little bit more. And that was my intention, but I think not even knowingly, I'm not doing that as much because I've realized there's people here that either wouldn't necessarily agree with that, which is fine. I mean, the information I'm giving, I started maybe not tying it into the short season quite as much as far as explaining it, because I saw people coming in that I thought, oh, there's people coming here that they're either not going to agree with that or they don't know about it. But then I saw this interest of people wanting this information. So I think I not even necessarily knowingly started not addressing it specifically to the time frame of Satan's little season. You see what I'm saying? So I'm trying to figure out how to walk that balance of not going so into making it just Satan's little season thing to where then people that wouldn't agree with that viewpoint, which is, a lot of people out there, and those people, to people that wouldn't agree with the Satan's little season, this information is still useful to those people, to you guys that don't believe that. So I don't want to turn you guys off if there's people here that are like futurists and think, oh no, that's crazy. Jesus' return is off in the future. Him coming back to judge that generation, like he said, that's in the future. Or, we're almost at that time. I don't want to turn you guys off because I used to be there. You know what I mean? Like, that was me before. So I want you guys to see some of this information, because even if you're one of those people, this information should still be useful to you. Well, some of it anyway. And the way I came to changing some of my thinking was because I started looking into this stuff and watching channels. And I was watching channels, and I still watch channels of people that I don't agree with all their stuff. You know what I mean? I watch channels of people who are atheists. They think the mud flood and the buried buildings are all something completely different than what I do. But you know what I mean? I think it's hard sometimes for people, if you're pushing too much certain narrative, for a lot of people to put their personal view aside and then just take that information in. So I think, kind of because that's how I think and I realize some people that way, I think maybe I've changed the channel a little bit from what I originally set it out to be, just addressing this Satan's little season believer people. So, I hope that's all right with people. I hope if you're somebody who believes in Satan's little season and you're coming here for that reason, you can kind of tie some of this in yourself without me tying it, being so direct to that. And I probably will. I need to do more direct videos really addressing that part of it. But that's why. And I hope that people coming here, and if you hear me say Satan's little season, or this is the Native American tribes, I believe they came out of the 1,000-year reign. That's my belief. if you don't believe that, that's cool, man. Just put that aside. And there's still the stuff, like, I hope you guys can look at it and go, that's a wackadoodle thing this guy is saying. But that doesn't change the narrative of what some of these, what the elders of these Indians are saying. Like, if I'm saying stuff to you that's wacky, just laugh about it and say, that guy's wacky on that, but still listen to what these Indian elders are saying. Listen to the information I'm giving, because how any of us take it doesn't change what that information is. Does that make sense? Like if the Cherokee say this is what our oral tradition is, we can have 5 people sitting here, and we could all look at that. I could be sitting here going like, oh, that means they were from the Millennial Kingdom. Somebody else could say, oh no, that means this other thing. And we all could have a different view of it, but it doesn't change that that's what the Cherokee believe. You know what I mean? So that's what I hope people can set that stuff aside and just listen to the information too. So I hope that's a little bit of that's just my little channel update, I guess, touching on that. And what else do I want to touch on? How long is this? We're 6 minutes in. Holy cow. I'm trying to make a short video. Maybe I should just leave this at that. I'm just going to leave this at that. And I'll maybe just title this video touching on my little season beliefs or something. So we'll just leave this video at that. So it's a little channel update. And I'm going to try to do these a little bit more often. Just some channel updates and share stuff like this. Not try to put it in a long video. Alright guys. Thanks for listening. I'll catch you on the next one, and hopefully I won't be too long in between these videos. So oh, there goes my phone. Uh-oh, work is calling. I gotta go. I'll see you later. Bye.
This is Echo Pass Outpost checking in from the edge of the map. If you can hear this signal, you can still escape the Matrix.